Welcome back to Westbridge Hills for episode 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's 6:13 in the morning and a lot has been going on Westbridge Hills. All the slurrying of the fields that I needed slurrying has been done by my super whizzy setup. That worked really well. Let's get this over the rail, hopefully. There we go. We should be good for all feed. I am slightly puzzled how, when I've set up the little Lely Juno, it was perfectly straight and I set it all up. Now it's going at a diagonal from there, really tight and narrow, all the way out here. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, so I need to check that in a minute. As I say, a lot's been going on. Turn it on off. I have spent hours and hours and hours contracting. I mean, literally hours. Off screen, I'm up to 1,044,000. There is no cheating, there is no trickery, there is no cheat boxes, nothing has happened. That has all been contracting, and I will show you now. Contracts, down the bottom, missions completed. I'm up to 77 missions completed now. And if we go, actually I need to go back in that screen, don't I? If we go to the map and go to growth, this is where it all gets a bit kind of bizarre and interesting and a bit mad. I've done most of the contracting jobs on most of the fields, and then it clicked over onto the next growth stage. So some of the fields do need spraying. However, if I go to soil composition, field 18 I harvested and slurry spread. Field 12 I did everything. I went from harvesting, ploughing, slurry spreading, cultivating, seeding. That's all been done. 4 has been, if we click on, back on that one. 4, as you can see, doesn't need ploughing. I've done the same with that. I did a contracting job on there. Harvested, ploughed, slurried, cultivated. That's been done. I have been busy on a lot of these fields. The one field that I shied away from doing, this one took a long time, 18, don't get me wrong. Harvesting that, and you saw at the start in the little montage, that took ages. This is the one that I shied away from, field 3. And I'll show you why. Oh, it's been done now. Oh, that's annoying. There was sugar beet in this field, and it was 189 minutes. So that's what, 3 hours? Yeah. 3 hours. I mean, I know it takes half that time, so it still would have been an hour and a half. But anyway, I've been busy. So off the back of that busyness, there's a couple of things I want to do. I said I need to plant a field of wheat, and if we look on here, technically, on field 12, I have. I did all the contracting jobs, so I know it's been ploughed, I know it's been fertilised, I know it's been slurry injected, everything that can be done to that at this point has been done to it, and it's got wheat in it. So first thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to buy a field. It's up to its maximum. I can't get any more money off that, although technically I could fertiliser spray it now, and that would save me some money doing it myself, wouldn't it? It will do. It will do. Right. I'm going to do that. Let's do that. I'll just show you the start, but you don't need to see the whole thing. But that will save me even more money in the long run. That will mean I think that will be on its final fertilising state. I can buy it, wait for it to grow, and that's all mine. Mine, all mine. Yeah, don't know why I did the evil villain laugh. That was a bit bizarre, but I've had some weird things with this. When you start a mission, it putting the vehicles at the start in very weird positions. Over on field 3, I think it was, or 4, it put the harvester in between 2 trees, and I couldn't get it out, which was very strange. Anyway, so I'm going to very quickly. This wasn't part of what I was going to do in the episode, but I will do now. I will spread this, sorry, not spray. I always get in trouble if I say the wrong thing. If I say spread instead of spray, I always get someone saying, well, I think you mean... I know, I'm sorry. I do get the two often muddled up, but this is definitely spreading little fertiliser pellets. So I shall continue, get this done. There'll be a little bit more money in the bank, not a huge amount, and then I'll buy it. And then we'll get on to the jobs that I want to get done in today's episode. So, I'll see you in a moment. Last little bit. And the field shall be mine. Bingo. Not a huge amount of money, but it will go towards purchasing. So we're at 1,054,862. So no missions available, and they want 438,000, 6.77 hectare field. That's not bad. I think I'm going to do it. I am crazy, man. Right, 616,000 left. That's another field bought, but as far as the farm goes, not bad at all. So we now own 19, 20, 16, 17 you start with, 15, 10, 6 and 12. Now, as you look down here, 13 has also got wheat in it. When I looked at buying that, that was something like 700,000. It doesn't seem much bigger than 12, but if you turn them sideways, I suppose it's maybe a third again bigger. That's probably why it was a lot more money. What I've also noticed as well is in the AI setting up fields, we've got a lot of fields of sugar beet going on here. The problem is I'm going to have to leave that to roll over now, because when it gets to harvesting, I don't want to be doing contracting on sugar beet. It takes hours. We do need to do sugar beet on ours, and we do also need to seed all of our fields. So 15, 16, 17 and 13A, which is why I cleverly named it, all need to be seeded. I'm going to use the Seedhawk for doing that. That is what I'm going to be doing pretty much in this episode, getting that going, filling it up and getting some fields seeded, which shouldn't take too long because it's absolutely huge. But what I do need to do is jump to the shop. He says visit. Oh, right. And there's a reason, and it's going to be screaming to you right now and glaringly obvious. Our lovely Barrelcore has worked hard for us. It really has. But the new one's out. So it's time to say goodbye to the Barrelcore. Now, I could do the complete dodgy here, couldn't I? If I wanted to. And I could customise it and then pretend to sell it, get the money for it, and then have two, but that's cheating, and I'm not in the habit of doing that. So here we go. 128,000. It's not a huge amount, but it will do. Sold. Somebody came along and they've got a very, very good truck there. So, I'm going to buy the new one, the BSM 950 Legend. Now I've got 128,000, that's 210, so that's going to be about 90 grand of my own money going in. However, as is always the case, I do want the back attacher, which takes the price up a little bit. Main colour, I'm not going for MrSealyp green, I'm going to go for the same green I just had on my lorry. That one. Wheel setup, wide tyres, naturally. Rim colour, black again, that's kind of the one I go for. Design, with oversized load, yes. Design colour, now this is the tricky one. What colour will go with that green? I suppose yellow technically does, red might look a bit grim, mightn't it? Or I could just have a black one down the side, I have the green with black. Is that going to look weird? Trying to think what my trailer is. So you've got red on it? I can't remember. I'll go with black because then it sort of stands out. Design with protection, that gives me the roof spoiler, the bull bars. Oh yeah, with protection. So that's taking it up another 5 grand with all of that. But the contract I just did on the field I just bought pays for that. So we can fetch our new purchase. How exciting! That doesn't look too bad with the black actually, I quite like that. Makes the 950 Legend a bit stand out. This is very nice. When I did my kind of mod review guide too, it's a bit not misleading. The problem is a lot of mods that come out, it's a guide too. You're doing a guide to that particular mod, how it works, all that kind of thing. But it is a review of that mod at the same time, and people are saying, oh, it's not a guide, what do you want a guide for, who needs guiding on this? Sometimes it's just a review of the mod, but I've just called it a guide to, rather than mod reviews or, you know. The lifter, I didn't show that lifting, it does lift, but I think I might have done on one of my other mod reviews, but now hush. There we go. Lifter is up. This thing is rapid. Oh yeah, it's green base with a black back. That'll all fit rather nicely. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, sorry, it's not tall. I was going to say, is it taller than the old one? Will it still go under here? It's definitely got a real kind of Mad Max kind of look to it. Wow. Okay, so another new purchase for the farm, the Legend. That actually fits really, really well. Black rims. I couldn't remember what colour back we had. Black. 2 greens match, so I haven't got the MrSealyp green, that lime green. But it's still a green. That all looks rather nice. Okay, so we back up to the store. We're going to need the big bud. Let's do this crazy thing. Look. This bonkers bit of machinery. And the problem I have got is trying to get this around into the yard where I've got my seed. I did say about having some up at the store maybe. I keep saying that, I've said that repeatedly on different episodes. I might have installed the seed tanks and the refill point up here at the store, but it seems daft when it's right here, and I know I've said that before as well. However, when you purchase something and you're actually not going back towards the store, you're actually going out to another field, you've got to go all the way down there, fill up, all the way back again. It just kind of makes sense to have it here. I have also noticed in that last growth stage, changeover, whatever you want to call it. Loads of fields are now ready to be harvested. Just have a quick look on here. Growth, yeah. 14, 13, 8, 9, 7, 1. Wow. Plenty of contracting jobs if you want it. Mind you, you imagine contracting harvesting 9. I suppose not much, I'll say not much different to 18. It's probably double the size, isn't it? Looking at the length to about there, yeah, maybe double the size. Yeah, that took long enough doing that. I should ignore that for the time being. If I pop this here, then it should spawn the seeders somewhere slightly different. Okie dokie. Now again, I'm not buying these, I'm just leasing them. When I decide upon the ones I actually want, I've got a couple of seeders, but these are the kind of, not test ones, but you know what I mean. I'm giving everything a bit of a crack. We had a go with the Hats and Bicklers. I own the Great Plains YP2425A. We had a go with the Hats and Bicklers, so now it's the time for the Seedhawk XL Toolbar. Yeah, I mean that combined, that's a big old chunk of change, isn't it? 25.6 metre though. Wow, that's incredible. So to lease it, 23,000. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let's lease that. And the 980 Aircart to go with it. Standard or rear twins? No, I'll go with standard, I think. 14.8. So yeah, that could have been a lot worse actually. Still leaves me with $491,000 in the bank. Lovely. Right. Let's check out these bad boys. Good grief. I know when I did the Big Bud DLC kind of guide to mod review, whatever you want to call it, I did use them and had a quick kind of whiz round, but my god, they're huge. And that's what I'm thinking now, the size of that, am I going to be able to fit that into the yard to fill it? I don't know. Whoa. See, my next option then is thinking about this. You've got the spare bit of ground here, which isn't really used for anything. Don't normally cut it for grass or anything like that. I'm thinking of putting the refill tanks here. Maybe having like the seed one, the fertiliser one, the liquid fertiliser one with a big enough gap that for this big machinery you can drive to each one and it's not too much of an issue. And as if by magic, whoosh, they're there. Right. This will definitely help out, definitely, especially for the bigger equipment. Let's fill this up. That's going to be where it gets expensive. But I've got a lot of fields to do. Ooh, jumped a little bit early then. So, I've got to remember now, does it go seed cart then seeder with this one? I think it does, or does it not matter? I'm really not too sure. What I will do to start off with, just to make my life a little bit easier, if I hook that up first, if I take that back a bit, like so. So I can't remember which way the pipes went on this, so we'll find out in a second. Learn along with MrSealyp. Always learning. Always learning. Oh good, it's one of these. This is not going to go well, is it? Maybe it does go the other way. Oh, this is horrendous. So as it transpires, after all that mucking about, what I should have done was had a quick look at the back here, because there's no trailer hitch at the back. So it does go with the Seedhawk Aircart behind the actual Seeder. So yeah, that would have been a lot easier had I checked that first. But we are now hooked up. All the cables, pipes, tubes from one to the other are all now connected. Let's go and fill it up. This is quite a setup. Wow. Definitely for this larger equipment this is going to work better, because you can weave your way around to whichever part you need. So, what I will do is turn that on. So, L1, open seed tank or fertilizer tank. Let's open its seed first, isn't it? I've got. So, let's open that. But I'm not close enough, am I? Of course not. So, after a little bit of jiggery pokery, ooh, nice. We are filling. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, not cheap. It's filling, you can just see through there. The dark red is gradually creeping up the tank. This takes a huge amount. But we are filling. Very nice. Very nice indeed. All part of the job. Is that all we've got in there so far? Wow. Go and make a cup of tea if you want. Read the paper. Put your feet up, have a snooze. Read War and Peace? I don't know. Whatever you'd rather do. Actually, while I'm here, I can change the seed type, can't I? Can I? Select seed. We're going to do soybean. I've got a field of wheat. I'm going to do soybean on the bigger fields. I suppose I could do... Let's have a think. What's paying out well? Yeah, still soybean is the highest one, isn't it? By a fair way. Sunflower's not bad. Oilseed rape not so much. Right, we are nearly there. On this part, anyway. Yes, hallelujah. I promise we are going to actually get some seeding done today. So, we now need to change back to that. Open fertiliser tank. So switch to the other tank. That one closes, and now we're going to put fertiliser in. Refill additional tank. Yes, please. So white fertiliser going in. Yes, good. That's working. Nice. Now, does say additional tank. What's this one here then? Because it's kind of an extra section on the back, isn't it? I wonder. Mind you, the amount of fuel this thing uses, having it sitting here ticking over, is probably not the best idea, is it? I'll probably speed this up, and we'll get to the good bit. Now I'm actually going to stop it there, and there's a very good reason for that. That you use far less fertiliser to seed. The ratio between the two, you use about 1/3 of the fertiliser to seed, so I don't need that much. So let's close tank. And we're good to go, finally. Now, seeing as we're closest, and I don't want to spend the rest of this episode because it's taken about half the episode just to fill the seed tank. Just drive through the bushes, it's fine. Let's do the field in front of us. Field 15, that seems to be the most obvious choice. Now comes the scary bit. Let's open this up, shall we? Unfolding like a butterfly from a chrysalis. Wow. That is absolutely nuts. Wow, right, soybeans set to go. Let's rock and roll. I am truly amazed at how well this thing turns. For the size of it, that is really impressive. This is going to take maybe 6, 7 passes across this field to fully do it. When you think about the size of the field, using smaller seeders, you know, it would take you ages. You have loads of these, or loads of the smaller seeders running on the same field or on different fields at the same time to get it all done. This thing is unreal. It does make me think about investing in another big bud, and then getting the Aircarts, the Seedhawk, maybe have one Hatson Bickler, one Seedhawk. But the trouble is that's going to require so much money to buy, to own them. And if you don't do that, then for every hour you use it to lease, you get clobbered for leasing costs. So it's a bit of a, what do you do for the best? Great bit of kit. So far what we've done, bit of contracting, well, the bit at the start, lots of contracting, bit of contracting, bought a field, changed our truck, filled the seeder, let the seeder get on with what it's doing. Well, actually this is a much bigger field, it might be more than 7 passes, mightn't it? But I shall leave that to get on. Get one of the other seeds out. We do need to put what we're going to put in field 20. I've got a wheat field now, so I don't need wheat. I could stick another corn crop in it, so I've got plenty of corn for the pigs. Could do. I'm thinking of buying field, whichever that one is. My mind's gone blank now. It's not going to really show it from here, is it? Field 21. Field 21 at some point as well. Might do that. Stick my sunflower at the moment, but maybe do that as like a silage crop, big corn crop maybe. Fill up another one of those bunkers over there so I can keep my digestate going. But that'll be an off-screen one. I wouldn't do another silage harvest on screen, and all the time it took to fill it, compact it, it took ages. Well, I've got a fair bit of fertiliser over there actually, haven't I? Silage in that bunker. Right. Well, that's field 15 done. Packing away. We're going to drive it over to 13A, do 13A, then come back over and do 17. I've set the smaller Great Plains, I say smaller, it's still a big seeder, the Great Plains one on field 16, so that's doing that. And get as much of this seeding done as I can in this episode. And I've just done a sugar beet harvest on the golden days of farming, but I really do need to do a sugar beet harvest on field 10. Again, I've been saying that for countless episodes, but I do need to get it done. So this will head off at a very slow pace, but as you can see, it's used barely any seed or fertiliser. Soybeans are a pretty good crop considering how much you get for it. It doesn't use very much at all in the actual seeding process, which is brilliant. Of course, the other option for doing a big silage harvest would be field 14 here, but that's not going to be cheap to buy. Will this fit through here? Yeah, just about. This is a long old bit of equipment, but it makes really, really light work of these fields. Still need to buy pigs. Might do that actually soon. Once I've got a few more bits like crops stored. I've come way too far over, haven't I? Yeah, I might do that. Get some pigs. We haven't got them yet, have we? What crops have I got growing at the moment? I've got some barley. Let's check my storage. Let's check storage and see what we've got. Yeah, not a lot actually. Not much corn, but I did dump a load. Probably need to do some OSR actually. One in the fields, put some oilseed rape in. When I do the sugar beet harvest on field 10, I might reseed that with OSR. I think I started off with OSR in that. Trying to remember. Problem is as well, when you dump stuff on the floor for the pigs in that little barn I've got, which is pretty much directly down from where we are, just maybe over that way a little bit, because it's on the floor, you don't know how much you've got, which is a bit of a pain. Actually, do I just come over a little bit, don't I? Because it goes out a little bit the other side, so let's go over a little bit and then set this on its merry way. That's better. Okay, right. We're getting somewhere. (13A) has got a tiny little bit left to do. It does its usual, because there's an obstacle or an obstruction, it stops doing what it should be doing, but for the most part it is done, so I will finish it off. 16 is done, 17 is now in the process of being done by the Terra variant with the Great Plains seeder on it, and that is the end of another episode on Westbridge Hills. We are nearly done with our soybean seeding. When this field is done, I might whiz over and just help finish off on field 17, but that is it. I said I would seed, I said I would use the new Seedhawk, and I have done just that. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.